All right, good afternoon, U.S. Geography. Here I am again in the TV, but it's okay. Hopefully, this will be our last time for a while before we get into other states throughout the year. So, we are beginning our work with the Mid-Atlantic region. We're going to study the state of New York. But before we do that, what I ask of all of you is that you need to turn in that sheet for the Mid-Atlantic region preview. That sheet should be turned into one pile on each of your tables, and then teacher, once you pause this video, please do collect all of those sheets for the Mid-Atlantic preview. Thank you. All right, so we are going to begin on the Great American Road Trip to New York. Now, what you're going to see, which is kind of a cool thing, if you notice the interstate that goes across the state of New York is the same one that goes through the state of South Dakota. Interstate 90 actually goes completely east to west across, or west to east, depending on where you're coming from. But it is the same interstate highway that goes all the way throughout the state of New York. So let's continue on. Let's see what we have for our overall work for the state. So for today, which is day number 1, we are going to get into the introductory video, which is the state's documentary. We'll have 2 groups today. Make sure, so there are 2 groups for New York state people. Make sure that you have those ready to go, and you'll be sharing those in a little bit. And then we'll get into the New York State Quick Facts research, and that'll give us just enough information to finish out today. So let us continue with our first step for today's road trip, which is the state's documentary. So make sure, teacher, to switch, you're going to have to switch the HDMI cable over to the DVD player. And once you have it, you'll have to turn it back on because it's in standby mode. It should either automatically play right into the state video clip, or you may have to go in it with the main menu. So let's pause right now. Have your U.S. Geography notebooks ready to go. New page that says the state of New York, and I look forward to what you discover. So please, teacher, pause at this time. So what did you guys discover? What are some crazy things? Probably New York, I bet, is a state. You probably are familiar with New York City especially. That's usually one that has the most common that people think about with the state of New York. But there's a whole lot more. And I'm going to let those that are going to be the collaborative poster people, how about you guys take ownership of this here? Remember, there are 2 separate groups. There might be some similar information, but make sure when you are finished with those posters that I will get them pinned up to the wall for tomorrow. So collaborative poster people, it is your turn. Teacher, please do pause the video at this time. All right, let's give them all a round of applause for their hard work. I know it's a quick turnaround when we have the region preview, but somebody has to be the first one. So we thank you, New York people, for being ready and raring to go. I look forward to seeing what you put together for your research. But now it is our turn. You're going to open up your Chromebooks, and you're going to be using your marker boards to write down information about what you learn about some of these symbols for the state of New York. So, teacher, you're going to assign this randomly to whoever you decide here. There are 7 separate groups. First group is going to take on the geography, which is going to be here for the state of New York, taking a look at the physical parts, the land, the mountainous areas, the waterways. There's a lot to New York compared to some of the states that we've come across so far. So definitely physical geography there. Then one group is going to take on the state bird, which is the eastern bluebird. Wonderful, wonderful bird. Please make sure, especially not just that it's blue, figure out why they chose it to be their state bird. Then we have, going on to the left here, kind of going counterclockwise, another group will take on the state mammal. The state mammal for the state of New York is the American beaver. So I'm really interested. I came across that one. I thought, let's see what that one's all about. So beaver people, make sure you're ready to go. Then going on to the left, which is the state fruit for the state of New York, which is the apple. So that's kind of an interesting one here. Going down bottom left, this one is talking about the nickname for the state of New York, which is known as the Empire State. So as we look for its nickname here, you'll see especially the Empire State Building. So help us figure out why is it called, not just for the Empire State Building, why they choose it as their state nickname. Then we have the State Quarter for the state of New York right here. Lots of features that we have on here for different things too. Interested to see, especially you'll see things like the Statue of Liberty, Hudson River, even this waterway here. That's the one I'm interested across in the back here. And why is it called the Gateway to Freedom? And then I'll move myself here just for a moment. And then one group will take on the state flag. So understanding what all the symbolology is really what that is. Taking a look at this, and then also looking up what does Excelsior mean? Why is that included for the state flag? So I'll let you all do that research here. I'd say, teacher, give them about 5 minutes and then report that so others can write these in their notebooks to share on their flip later this week. So pause the video at this time. Really look forward to seeing what you guys take from all the different symbols. And obviously, as you know, there's way more symbols than we can have with our small groups. So please make sure, include some of that in your flip as you're going through and as you're getting ready for that assignment due for Monday. Definitely include those. So we have the final little pieces here for the rundown for the state of New York. So New York, as I'm sure was already shared already, joined the Union July 26, 1788, and that was the 11th state that joined the Union. Their meaning for the state is named in honor of the Duke of York. Understand the Duke of York is an important position in England, so it was named after that gentleman at the time, but it was formerly a Dutch colony, and New York was once known as New Amsterdam. Capital city is Albany, not New York City, Albany. And then locals in New York, this one is pretty straightforward because it's also the name given to people of New York City. They're known as New Yorkers. And that'll bring us to a close for our study of New York for the first day. So as you're closing up your assignments, you have the first page in the Atlas workbook. Please make sure, especially as you're working on this, I want you to be a little bit more careful in how you are completing your work, making sure it's a little bit cleaner, not just rushed. And then you do have a look at assignment on the state of New York. And some of it will be a challenge because it's going to be symbols. Some of them we've talked about, some of them you haven't talked about. And so don't be afraid to do it more than once. Again, please make sure that you're putting your name into the nickname so that I know that you had a chance to complete this assignment. Otherwise, I look forward to our study tomorrow for the state of New York, and we'll have a food test for tomorrow, which I'm very excited to share with you. Otherwise, U.S. Geography, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you, God willing, tomorrow.